NFL 22 on EA Sports. And today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the 49ers and the Bengals, next on EA Sports.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the San Francisco 49ers. To my left, Charles Davis. And Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they come in off another victory a weekend ago. That ran their win streak up to 7 now.
And I think that win last week established them as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with confidence and swagger, and you need that to go a long way.
Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the 3rd overall pick in April's draft, the rookie from North Dakota State, Trey Lance.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
The numbers for Mixon last week, 20 carries, 67 yards, and a touchdown.
And when I watch them operate, I see a unit that's playing with extreme confidence. Offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers. You see a group that wants to look for you rush from the wing, end up being in the top 5 before it's over. Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. So, Charles, take nothing away from this young man under center, because I know people think he's got a very bright future in this league, but I have to figure the defensive coordinators love the thought of squaring off against a rookie quarterback.
And especially if they have guys they can put together a game plan with that's going to confuse, disguise a lot of coverage, make this kid think a little bit. Because in college, he's seen a lot of things. Let's not get it wrong here. But at the same time, in the NFL, you can do so much more because of the athletes you have, because of their football. Don't forget, you're going to throw a couple extra rushers at him as well. See if he can handle the pressure when those guys come at him.
44 yards rushing for him now in just his first 3 carries. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. And the Bengals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to touchdown.
C.J. Uzomah, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it ends with a Bengals score. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So here are the Niners now to get their first drive. They'll be led, of course, by their second-year quarterback from LSU, Joe Burrow.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season. And maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year. And with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. Burrow now off the bootleg. A quick throw, but incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
And oh, that nearly an opening drive INT, but he does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It's taken to the 26. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Couldn't do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself at this moment.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Throwing now is Lance. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on 2nd down. A running play was
looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett, and they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Here's Mostert. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Raheem Mostert with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Gold with the extra point, and that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now, so you're not protecting a lead, so you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again, so maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that tough rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
Mixon with a first down carry. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 58 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Play action. Now it's Lance. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to be 49er football.
We're going to shut you down. We're going to shut you down.
The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
Let's go. Let's go.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
He pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, second down. 2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
A big play there for the Niners. And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Burrow will throw. That's caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco. Deebo Samuel, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And he is inching closer to that 100-yard mark.
And that's the goal. That's the benchmark that every runner in the NFL is trying to get to. And he's locked in on it pretty well right now. And I would suspect that his linemen are locked in pretty well, too. They know that if a guy gets over 100 yards, they've done a great job, too.
You think every starter sort of has the number 100 in his mind before a game?
I guarantee that they do. That's what they think about. That's what they dream about. That's what they visualize during practice all week. 100 yards, because it's almost like you hit that number, boom, you might even get to 2.
The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get 1 step. If you're within 1 step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that, looks like an extra step was involved.
Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one. Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They forced incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. It looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
On 1st down, Lance. And his His throw's going to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
To throw again on 2nd down, Lance. And that is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example.
So lead to a 4th down.
For the field goal, a 43-yard attempt.
McPherson's kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
Brandon Ayuk returning it. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Well, the Niners going back on offense now late in this first half as they will take over here with a little more than 30 seconds remaining. The Burrow's throw taken in by Samuel. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
That's complete to Mostert out of the backfield. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Final play of the half for Burrow and company. Samuel bringing in the slant. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 40. So we have reached halftime here with a visit. What's been a tight contest so far. Here's Ayuk on the return. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, They'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime. Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball-controlled football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty obviously the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
Here we go. Make a play ball, baby. Here we go.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
First down, here's Burrow. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be. On 2nd and 10, Burrow. Again looking for Samuel, this time the catch made. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Raheem Mostert, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Niners take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Gold with the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this 2nd half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into big.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down. Here's Lance to throw it. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. Back now in Cincinnati. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. They hand it off to Mostert. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 63 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take...
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are right back in this football game. On 1st and 10, here's Lance. And his throw here's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out.
Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. Samson Abukum able to record his 5th sack of the season. And the Bengals on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. And Lance going to throw. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. That is caught. It's Uzomah. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Throwing on 1st down is Lance. This pass complete to Higgins. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this one is incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Lance. He goes right back to Higgins, and this time he's got it. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 21. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. Lance looking to throw it. He finds his running back, Mixon. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And they can't connect. Incomplete. That stops the clock with 3 seconds left, so probably one final play here in the 2nd quarter, barring a penalty. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. One final try now for Lance. Bind, and a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win them the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
They'll let Mixon try and run it in. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Well, an interesting finish to this one. They get in the end zone at the end of the game. Then they went for 2. It wouldn't have mattered. The game was over, but they didn't get that 2-point conversion.
I think trying to get the 2 points, that was for pride for them. But obviously the guys on the other side of the ball had some pride too. They stopped the 2-point play, even though, as you noted, it did not matter. So both teams battled to the end.
So for the 49ers, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, you wonder what this will do to their playoff prospects as they fall to 8-5. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos.